Okay, so my name's Leigh and I was homeless about a year ago. I ended up losing my own place and then I went to live with my new partner, and she kind of lived in like a house share with her friends, but that kind of broke down because all of her friends went back and lived with their parents and we kind of got in rent arrear with that. So we went to Sophie's mum's and it started off very well. And then after about a week, she decided that she didn't want us living there anymore. So we ended up going to the council and telling them that we were homeless. And at that time, that was in Cambridge. And they'd helped us by moving us to one place to another. And then they just said the temporary accommodation, is up. You go basically homeless again. So we didn't really know what to do. Basically jumped on a bus and a train to Peterborough. So on the first night, we just got paid our benefits. So we were able to find a B&B. Went back to the council the next day. We went to the women's centre and still didn't find garden house until a good week in of being homeless. So we stayed in a hotel for the first 3 nights and that was it. That's all our benefits could take and we were penniless afterwards. So that resulted in us walking the streets and we kept walking because we needed to be warm and we didn't know what to do, we didn't have nowhere to go. So we just kept walking. We ended up in a retail area. And there was houses and stuff all down one side of the street. And the only thing we could think that would be safe is to go down one of the alleyways, get the bins that were down the alleyways for shelter and put them around us. And then it would be like we'd have our jumpers and our clothes, just trying to wrap ourselves up warm. And this was a good week we were on the street for. There was a couple of incidents when people would come past and after they've had a drink or something, spill their drinks on us and swear at us. And there was one time that we got spat on. It's different when you're walking past somebody and you have a safe place to go, and it's different to when you're sat there watching the people walk past. At that point, we'd given up. We didn't know, we thought that this was going to be our life. We didn't know what help there was out there and if there was any help until we decided to come back towards town. And then we got told about the garden house. And I remember the first day me and my partner walked into the garden house. We walked through the door and we got greeted by workers, but at the same time there was so many different people around, and I just stood in the middle of the kitchen and just cried because I didn't know, I had no clue. I was shocked at the fact that there were so many people that were in the same situation as me. But then the nurse came down to me and Sophie, and she saw how upset I was. So she took us into a little room. They kind of made us welcome and say, okay, you're here now, we know about you, we're gonna help you. So that was really reassuring. And then by the end of that day, we got told there wasn't any crash beds available. And that it felt like a kick in the teeth because you'd worked so hard just to get to where you were and get to the garden house. And then to be told that you've got to go back out on the streets. I mean, it's hard, but there's only so many beds. So stayed out, came back the next day, and we got given crash beds. We were able to go there at 10 o'clock and then basically come out at 7. And then we'd be on wandering the streets until the garden house was open, and that's when we'd get our first hot drink. And it was also overwhelming. To be homeless is being in a completely different world. It's hard to kind of explain, but you don't have any sort of comfort You don't feel safe, you don't feel positive, you feel run down, stressed, tired, fed up. There was times when I thought I couldn't do it anymore. There was times that Sophie thought she couldn't do it anymore. So we would go into the garden house every opportunity, every day, on the computers, phoning, hassling the staff about accommodation. So on the 7th night of being on the crash bed, I got a phone call from a housing officer that works at the garden house to say that me and my partner's got a bed on the winter night shelter. We felt that little glimpse of hope because we climbed one step of the ladder and we got to somewhere where we were getting hot meal, bed, cup of coffees, cup of teas, socialisation, respect. I remember the first night when I saw the bed, I literally ran over to my bed and I literally jumped on my bed and I was just so excited. All I kept on saying was thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. On the night shower, this was something we were doing for probably about 4 weeks, and then things started to get up hope because we had the garden house fighting for us and the council fighting for us, and then I got a call saying my rent deposit scheme had gone through and my deposit was paid and I could move into my flat. So I literally was so overwhelmed with that news. I'd been working so hard. We're talking about January to April we'd been working just to get our own place. So it was sad that we were leaving the people that we gotten close to and gotten used to, but at the same time we were so excited for our new start. So since April we've been in our own place and we're looking at our own houses now and places like that, and things are looking bright. I literally couldn't do it without the Light Project Peterborough's help. It's massive thanks to them.